is responsible for. Rupa is responsible for both the direct payments and financial assessment team, and hopefully we'll talk a little bit about how we're hoping to, or how we're working towards making the two functions more integrated, so that if you've in receipt of the direct payment and you have a financial contribution to make, that the two processes work as seamlessly as possible. And I'm expecting lots of questions, and I'm expecting lots of interesting conversations. So I think what I'm hoping is that myself and Rupa will keep things fairly brief, and then create as much time as possible for questions and answers. I think, as Tina said, we can't get into individual case details in this session, just for confidentiality reasons. We will be able to talk about general issues, we'll be able to talk about scenarios, we'll be able to talk about what might happen in different circumstances, but we can't get into discussing individual situations. But if there is a particular individual situation that you want to discuss with us, we can do that separately after the session. If you drop myself and Rupa an email, either directly or via Tahina or Tracy, we'll happily do some follow-up in terms of any specific circumstances and any specific situations. And where it's helpful, we'll involve the learning disability or transitions teams in those conversations as well. So I think I'm not going to say much more other than that. I think one of the things that I just want people to have in their mind as Rupa is talking this morning is that it's important to remember that direct payments should be empowering. They should enable people to manage their care and support arrangements flexibly, and they should allow for more choice and control over how an individual manages the care and support that they need. But we also need to recognise that while there is that flexibility, while there is that choice and control, we also have a broader responsibility to make sure that what is, after all, public money is used wisely. And I don't mean that individuals won't use it wisely. I mean that we have a general responsibility as the local authority to make sure that public money is used wisely. We will have to look at how a direct payment is being managed in terms of, for example, is it being used for the purposes that it was that relate to an individual's care and support plan? Is there additional money in the direct payment account that isn't being used, that isn't needed to meet an individual's care and support arrangements? And if that is the case, can we recoup it? And we would recoup it because it remains public money, and because it's important, as I say, that we make sure that we're using that public money in the most sensible way. So I just want people to bear that in mind, that while, as I say, direct payments is about choice, it's about control, it's about flexibility, it remains public money, and it therefore there remain a set of rules around how that money is used. And that will from time to time bring us into conflict with individuals, but we would always obviously want to resolve that in a way that is, as far as possible, gets the right outcome for everyone. So I don't think I need to say a lot more. So unless there are any immediate questions, I will hand over to Rupa, who will talk you through in a bit more detail how the scheme works.
Thank you, Rupa.
Thank you. Thanks, Keith. Hi, everyone. I'm Rupa Mutha. I manage the direct payments team and also financial assessment teams for Merton. Both the teams are interlinked quite heavily because you need one to be in place so that the other can start. I'll start right at the beginning. So direct payments are an alternative to a commission service, a council commission service. As Keith said, direct payments are really good in that they offer you flexibility and more choice and control on how your care is, sourced and delivered and tailored to suit your needs. So, if you need flexibility, I would suggest looking into direct payments. Once your care and support plan has been agreed with the social worker and a direct payment has been identified and agreed, what we do is one of our direct payment support officers, we have 2 at the moment, they would contact you and they would go through the whole sign up process with you. They would send you a direct payments pack either through the post or online, and they would help you complete the contract and agreement. We have various options. You can employ a personal assistant, or you can also go to a care agency and employ them directly. You would get the money 4 weeks in advance, paid onto a MasterCard, akin to a MasterCard. It's called a prepaid card. We currently use a supplier called EML, and they would provide that card for you. As I said, you get the money 4 weekly in advance loaded onto the card, and you would be able to pay your carers, your PA, your agency directly through the card. Now, the card, you can't withdraw cash or anything like that on it, but you can by all means set up direct debits and so forth from that to pay your carers. What else could we suggest? Yeah, so at the moment, if you're assessed to receive the direct payments, as I said, we'll arrange for the prepaid card to be issued for you. You can either manage the card yourself, or you can sign up to a Merton managed account. I'm not sure a lot of people are aware that we do have Merton managed account, which is like we pretty much hold your hands, and it's an add-on to the mainstream direct payments. We have 3 options in Merton managed account. So the first one is, a one-off setup service. This helps customers with the initial setup of a direct payment, and we will set up all the regular payments to your preferred service providers. Our officers will contact you and contact your personal assistant or whoever you want to have as your carer, and we'll set up everything for you. That includes confirmation of bank details, payment dates, confirmation of service arrangements as detailed in your support plan, and gather all the financial information and details that you may need for future reference. The one-off setup service incurs a charge of £23.94 at the moment. Our second option is a temporary managed account. So our officers will manage the financial aspect of your personal budget that you've selected to receive as a direct payment. If you're finding difficulty managing a direct payment in the beginning, I would say this is a good option, because we'll hold your hand temporarily and we'll provide you with the tools to manage your own money in time. For this temporary managed account facility is a one-off setup fee of £5, and then it's £18.90 per month after that. Our third and final option for a Merton managed account service is a full ongoing management service. So we will take on all aspects of the financial processing relating to your direct payment that you might not be confident in managing. So we will be invoicing all your carers. We will be taking care of all aspects of your payroll, you know, things like that, all your duties with, you know, tax, national insurance, making sure all of that is, you know, going through. And that has also got a one-off setup for your £5, and that full management service incurs a annual charge of £231.80. For Merton managed account, if this is something that you feel you would need, you'd need to contact your social work practitioner, and you know, they would check if you're eligible or not, and they would build in these amounts that I've mentioned into your support plan beforehand. I'm conscious that I'm going to go on and on about direct payments. There's so much that I can say to, you know, but I'm not here to convince you. I think I'll stop right there, and you know, if people have questions to ask, then I'm happy to answer. As I said, it's, you know, direct payments is a very in-depth subject, and you know, everything on the team, we do all sorts of things. You know, we help out with you know, sourcing PAs, employing them. We help you and hold your hand through, you know, your responsibilities as an employer. We monitor the direct payments side of things. So, you know, in line with the Care Act, we've also got a duty to monitor the amount of money that we are providing you every 4 weeks, and you know, make sure that it's really working for you, it's suiting your care needs. So if your care needs are changing, if you're not using the money as best as you could be or you should, then the monitoring picks that up, and you know, we can contact you and discuss. I'll hand over to Tracy before I blab on further, and you can ask me any questions you need to.